What's up, Knock Life boys and girls? Just want to shoot a quick video about the sale I got this morning. I was doing a quick, simple pitch. I was looking for my buyer, and what I mean by that is I was looking for someone who was going to ask me buying questions and who was going to bite on my initial pitch. I went through a handful of doors before I got my first buyer this morning, and I could tell she was my buyer because she was listening to the pitch, she was asking a couple questions, and she gave me a couple hot buttons right away. And what I mean by that is I did the first initial pitch. Hey, my name's Dustin. I'm getting some work done out here for your neighbors. It's mainly been a lot of spiders and ants. And it's funny, she didn't hear me the right way through the screen door. So she goes, oh no, my son's a contractor. He does all that stuff. And I said, oh no, it's not that. It's these guys right here. And because she couldn't hear me, I pulled out the bug chart, right? And so I explained through the screen, yo, it's the bugs. And I hit a hot button. She said, oh, bugs, pest control. Then she came out outside and actually talked to me. She said, oh, I thought you said you were doing contracting work with construction, that kind of stuff. She said, but yeah, the bugs, we have the bugs. I said, perfect, yeah, it's been real buggy out here in the neighborhood. Now, are you guys just getting the spiders or are you getting some of the ants too? Immediately she started saying, hey, we're getting the brown widows. She goes, but I run a daycare here, is it safe? I said, look, it's not a problem with kids or pets. That's what a lot of people like about us. We're using the same products that are used in hospitals or restaurants. Now at that point I could tell she was interested. I could tell that she was asking a couple of questions, so she had some hot buttons. And with that, I wasn't in a rush to close her, right? So I made sure I answered her questions, I gave value, and I really wanted to ask a few questions to see what exactly she needs or what she wants. So just kind of running through the sale here. Couple things she mentioned. She's like, yeah, we're getting water bugs, like those little roaches. I said, where do you get them? Do you get them in the backyard? Do you get them in the front yard? Are the water bugs in the garage yet? That's something you can say to really build value and build the urgency to say, look, we need to get this done right away, otherwise they're gonna be in the garage. She said, no, we had them real bad last summer. It isn't that bad yet, but we typically get them around the back shed area. And I said, gotcha, right now is pre-season. So right now is really the time to do that preventative work to get them done. If you wait a month or two down the line, they're gonna be all over the place, just like last summer, you remember, right? And she's like, oh yeah, they were so bad last summer, this and that. I said, that's exactly why I'm out here. A lot of the neighbors are jumping on board with this to get it started before it really gets bad, just like last summer. She said, oh yeah, that makes sense. So water bugs were a hot button for her. I made sure and hit that, and I made sure to build the value and build the urgency to say, like, look, we got to get this done right away, right? Another thing that she had right in her front patio area is she had some patio furniture. She had a ton of little webs underneath that. So I made a point to visually show her, look, you see these webs under here? A lot of times when you see those sticky webs, and they're very unorthodox, they're going every which way, those are going to be brown widow webs underneath your patio furniture. And I'm sure that's a concern with yours, with you having a daycare here, right? She said, yeah, we have kids here. And I said, exactly. So we do service a lot of daycares, mainly because people don't want their kids getting bit by brown widow or black widow spiders. And she completely agreed, right? So at that point, she asks again, so how much is it? And I think I kind of let in. After I got a few hot buttons, I was able to see basically how bad she wants this service. And then I said, well, let me show you what I'm doing out here for the neighbors. Flipped over the price sheet. I said, normally if you call the office, they're gonna be an arm and a leg, right? They're gonna charge you $199 to get started. And then after that, it's cheap. We just come out quarterly, which is just every 3 months for the $119. But I'm filling up some slots today, and I'm just doing it $99 across the board. And she's like, oh, right? And then I said, are you a homeowner or a renter? She said, I'm a homeowner. I said, well, good. I'm surprised you don't have a service already. Most of the homeowners out here already have a service. I'm glad I caught you when I did. Okay, so that's another thing you can say to plant the seed, to say, like, look, you're a homeowner, you should have this. Everybody does out here, right? So then we went further in the pitch. We talked about the water bugs. We talked about the brown widows. She said, I said, what about ants? She said, yeah, I had ants in the past. I said, were they little tiny ants? She said, yeah, they were little tiny ants. I said, those are Argentine ants. With those guys, they're pretty tricky because they'll split up and they'll make new queens and they'll form new colonies. So they're pretty aggressive. That's why a lot of people hire us, because we really play offense out here in the yard to get rid of them right where they're nesting. She says, oh, okay. At that point, it's time to pull out the paperwork and start closing, right? I've built enough value. I explain the price. I bring out the paperwork to start showing visually, hey, this is what we're about to do, right? So I said, one thing your neighbors love about us out here is we do provide a money-back guarantee. Basically what that means is if you need us to come back out in between the regular visits, we'll come back out absolutely free. But if we've done a couple of free reservices and we haven't gotten the job done, then obviously we haven't earned your business, so we refund your money back. I said, that's pretty cool, right? She said, yeah, definitely. And then I go right into a harder close. I say, now I want to make the notes for the technician. That way when he shows up today, he'll know exactly what you need to get done. And then what I do is I hand the bug chart to her. I give her an assignment to do. We're doing this together as a team. And I say, look, here's the bug chart. I got the contract. I'll start filling it out. You start naming the bugs off. At that point, she looks at it, and I'm starting to fill in some notes on my paperwork. Okay, so you got the brown widows. I know you mentioned the ants. What else are you seeing? She looks at it. She says, oh, the rodents. She goes, I think we're getting some rodents inside the garage. I said, well, look, the rodents are usually extra. Then I started building value. I said, usually our rodents, the snails, the aphids, the whiteflies, the wasps, the fleas, those are all another $15 per service. I tell you what, why don't we just include all of them in the package? I'll just do everything for just another 10 bucks. She's like, oh, that sounds good. So that just upped my contract value and ended up closing her on a 109 initial, 109 quarterly. Basically went through the paperwork, got everything set up, got the credit card and auto pay. But that's what I was looking for this morning. I was looking for somebody who's gonna bite on the pitch. And I probably knocked for about an hour, hour and a half before I found my buyer. And I got a few people before that were interested that couldn't pull the trigger. Went through the roadmap with them and they said, oh, I gotta hold off, gotta talk to my husband. And I didn't push it too hard. It's still the morning, so I can go back there this afternoon and talk to the husband. So I hope those are a couple of points and tips for you guys. If there's any questions you have or stuff you need help with, that's what these videos are for. So make sure and message me, text me, email me, send a message on the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to be out here selling pest control this summer. All right.